We all have old art, those embarrassing pictures that we look at and sometimes just think, man, is there anything at all I can do to fix this? Well, look no further because today the doctor is in and I'm gonna be fixing my old drawings. You brought an apple? Just cause I'm a doctor doesn't mean I'm scared of apples. I'm still gonna fix you, you know. So let's get right into it and start the video. The first picture I'm gonna be fixing is this drawing I made in 2022. It's supposed to be Umbreon turned into a human. So first things first, her head and body shape needed a lot of work. Obviously, the way that I drew her head originally doesn't look very realistic or good at all. Same for her body, it just kind of looks sloppy, so I really needed to work on that. I also wanted to work on her neck because the posing needs to be a lot different for it to actually look good. My style was a lot different back in 2022. I drew eyes like this, which I think are so weird, but I mean, I'm not gonna fully change them because that is how I was trying to do the eyes. What I'm doing here, you can see, I'm not actually redrawing the pictures, I'm drawing over them and fixing things about them. Because this isn't a redrawing my old art video, this is just a video where I'm gonna try to see how much I can edit on the original canvas of the picture to see just how much I really could have done with the original picture. Because if I completely redraw it, that kind of defeats the purpose. Right now I am working on editing the hair. The hair wasn't that bad, but I did want to fix it, and now I'm going on to the eyes and mouth and the overall face because, like I said, it needed a lot of work and I really want to make it actually look good. Back in 2022, me and my sister were working on making all the Eevee evolutions into humans. We were working together, so like I didn't do every single one of them and she didn't. We split them up so each of us could do however many. We did finish that, but you know, if they make a new Eevee evolution someday, I guess we'll have to continue the series. That would be fun. So right now I had fixed her eyes, but I really do not think they look very good yet. I just wanted to give them more shaping, but I feel like that's still not enough, so I'm going to edit them later even more, and they look a lot better once I give them some more little touch-ups. It's funny how extreme the difference is from the original picture and this edited version once you'll see it all finished. I changed so much, even though I still kept the original look of the picture in a way. It's almost like I completely redrew it even though I didn't. But it's funny seeing just how much I was able to change from that really bad original picture. This took me a little while though. It took me, I think, a bit more than an hour to edit. It wasn't really that quick because I kept changing things with them being like, I don't feel like I changed them enough, that they don't look good enough. So I kept working on it and it took a little bit longer than I planned. Actually, this entire video took a little bit longer than planned. I kept changing things way more than I thought I'd want to. I'm gonna be doing a total of 3 drawings that I'm gonna fix, so make sure to stick around to see all of them. It's kind of funny because this week I didn't finish any pictures that were new besides the little chibi of myself as a doctor, but other than that, all my pictures are just edited of my really old ones, so that's interesting. I decided to add some more light coming from the moon. I didn't want to do anything crazy because I didn't do any of that in the original picture, but I did want to add just a little bit because it needed a little bit more lighting. So for the final touch, I'm going to be fixing the eye highlights and making them a brighter white. That makes them stand out and look a lot more energetic and just overall a lot better. So now here is the finished fixed picture of Umbreon, and now I'm going to be going on to the next one, which is this picture. I made it just last year, but his eyes are way too big and I really need to work on that. It's actually my OC, Shiro, who normally does not look like this. I don't know why I gave him such buggish eyes, I absolutely hate it. So I'm going to try to fix it by just making his eyes smaller, and then I'm going to have to move around things on his face because I also made his face really weirdly shaped, so let's see what I can do to save this picture because right now I really don't like it. Besides the face, I didn't really edit anything. I decided to not edit the hands or other things about the picture because I really just wanted to focus on the area that I disliked. I did change though the top of the head because of changing the face. I also needed to change the overall look of the head because if it makes any sense, if I'm changing the face, then the top of the head should be changed too to make it correlate with each other. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but that's what I was doing. I didn't really know how to make his face look good, so I just kind of did random things until I started to like the way it was looking. This also took me a little while. It didn't take me super long, but it took me longer than I expected such a simple fix to take, so that's interesting. It really disappoints me, like I said at the beginning, that I made this just a year ago. Like, man, there was so much wrong with this picture. I really don't know why I drew him like that originally. But I'm glad that I'm able to save it because, like I said, it needed saving. So here is it fixed, and it looks a lot better than it did before. Now it's time to fix the very final picture in this video, which is from 2022 of my original character Hanako. As you can see, this picture needs a lot, maybe more than any of the other pictures. So first I started working on the face shape because that is the very worst part of the illustration, but there was a lot wrong with it. The neck was really weird and like stick-like, so I needed to fix that. Her shoulders were just kind of they just didn't have any form to them, so I needed to fix that. I was of course going to have to move over all her facial features and everything, but I didn't even want to worry about them at first. I tried to fix her and save her eyes, but I realized that they were actually too bad to even save. The way that I had originally drawn them and colored them was just so awful that this is one of the only things in this video that I did completely draw from scratch because I gave her new eyes. I tried to not make them look too fancy though, like my eyes usually do now, because I wanted it to fit in with the original picture's level of shading and detail. So I tried to make them pretty simple, but I couldn't help myself but add a few extra details onto them. Then I also needed to change her bangs because the original ones were so choppy and weird, and she's not supposed to have choppy bangs, so I need to work on that. So she is my original character. She's themed around flowers. Her name is Hanako, like I said. She has a pet bunny, and the bunny that she has in her lap in this picture is named Raisin, and he is a little cutie. I really like her because she makes me think of spring and, like I said, flowers. So she's just a really nice OC, but this picture I always hated. I actually hated it when I originally made it, so I'm glad that I'm able to fix it and kind of give it some redemption because I really never liked this. If you're watching this video in the future and not like right now when I post it, then hi, this video was posted in 2026, so it's been about 4 years since I made that other picture that I am right now fixing. And it is crazy to see just how much my art has improved and changed. Like, I've made it a long way since then, and it's just really cool seeing what I can do now that I couldn't do back then. I feel like the original eyes that I drew didn't look quite right, so I kept editing them to make them look a little bit better, and I do like that I put the extra effort into that because it really does make a difference in the long run. Also, I'm gonna end up cropping off Raisin, her bunny, because I didn't draw the legs properly, and I honestly just did not feel like fixing them, so I'm just gonna move him lower so you can't see his legs so that it's not a problem anymore. I kept making her eyes too angled, which isn't good, so I had to change them to make them not too angled, and then I tried to put some hair in front of her face to kind of cover it up, but that was a bad decision because then it just made her whole face shape look off, so I had to eventually undo that and go back to the way that it looked before. But at this stage, the picture is looking a bit wonky, isn't it? You know, one thing about the original picture that I guess I do like is her outfit. It's a cute outfit, I like the colors, it's not really too bad. It's just pretty much everything else about the original picture I had to fix, so it was quite a pain, but you know. I'm happy with how the picture turned out. I think it looks a lot better. It's a big change, and it was also just fun fixing it. Because it's not as hard as making an original picture from scratch. It's a bit easier to just be editing an old picture, because it's also not as much pressure. Like, if it doesn't turn out that good, well, of course it doesn't. It's an old picture that I'm trying to fix. The old picture isn't perfect, so why would I expect my new picture to be perfect either? But we are super close right now to being done this video, and so here we are. Here is my finished picture of Umbreon, which really does look a lot better. My finished picture of my OC Shiro. And last but certainly not least, my finished picture of my character Hanako. All these are big changes and I've improved a lot. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now!